in the garden today, and the plan is to make a little fence that runs around this garden bed with this post. I have this can of paint and this wire, which is 0.5 meters by 10 meters. So this post here needs to be broken to 4. I think it's 2 meters long. Then I need to get them around here and also paint them and then attach the wire. I also need to obviously sort out the bed first, get out all the weeds, and fill it up with some more compost, and probably get the plants out here first as well, which are the tomatoes and some chamomile. So come with me as we go on this, which I hope I can get done in the rest of today. I think it's about 4 o'clock, and my boyfriend needs to cut this pole for me. Oh, look at the robin over there. So I need that cut up, I need to paint that, and then he'll be out for an hour at work, so I need to get this bed sorted whilst it's out, and then hopefully we can get the poles and the mesh in today. Okay, I think it's doable. Hopefully it's doable. You'll know, because if not, it will take 2 days for me to get through this, or maybe more. Hopefully doable in one day. I also have enough mesh to do. Got the bed over there. This one's covered in netting with these poles, so I don't need to worry about that one, just these two. Alright. So my inspiration for this bed is this Pinterest image here, and it turns out pretty similar. So the plants that I'm wanting to get out are these tomatoes. So some of them are really big, well, quite big now, here, and then some of them are a lot smaller, like this one. So I'll pick the biggest of each variety. But really they need to get out now because it's getting towards late May, and so I kind of need them in the garden before they start flowering too much. And then I've got some more up here, obviously some more over here as well. So like these ones are obviously really quite small. Like this one's very, very small, so that one will not burn out. But like this one's a bit bigger, of the Mamanda varieties, for example.
Enjoy painting.
So I've changed into clothes that can get dirty, and I'm going to weed this first, which is going to take a while. So let's get going. So you can't really tell so much on the camera, but there were a lot of weeds here to be removed. So I spent probably half an hour, 40 minutes just taking the weeds out of here. And I was making sure to remove all the, well, as much of the roots as I could as well, to make sure that they hopefully don't grow back so quickly. And then I also had to do the edging again around the outside. So I took most of the stones off, again pulled out any weeds or anything from underneath them, and then put them back as well. So overall this process took quite a while, but obviously it's best to make sure you can remove as many weeds as possible so that it makes the summertime easier and you're not so worried about them taking nutrients from your plants. So yeah, overall I'd say it took me about half an hour, 40 minutes. Another thing I was trying to do was avoid sitting on any ant areas, because I made the mistake of doing that last year and got absolutely bitten to pieces and covered in ants. So I was trying my best to be careful around them. And also I was trying to turn over the ground at the same time I was doing all of this. So it was a necessary but long process. As you can see by the amount of weeds I end up pulling out. Second bucket and done. Next I'm going to move on to painting these. So I'm going to paint them on this compost bag, just to protect the grass. The only paintbrush I can find is this abnormally large one, so I've got a paper plate and I'm going to pour my little tester can of paint onto this and then paint them. So hopefully that works. Just need to get into it. Ugh. Good. That'll do. And I've gone for seasoned oak colour. Just put that down here. I think this will work. Oh shoot, I forgot to stir it. Yeah, should be fine. Should be fine though. And done. So after I finished painting the posts, the wooden posts, I got my boyfriend to come out here and sort the compost for me, pot the compost on the garden bed for me, and then I spread that around ready for the tomatoes, and I'd already planned out which ones were going where on the side. So I filled out pretty much most of the bed with the tomatoes. I left one line still for the other ones to go out because the cherry tomatoes, like the tumbling tom variety that I have, aren't quite ready to go out yet. I felt like they could probably get a bit bigger before I pot them out. So they're still in the greenhouse, but all the other ones I tried to get out. My tomato variety are the ones I'm planting right now, right at the end. And they were by far the biggest, and those ones really kind of needed to get out. And the Roma's tomatoes, which are the next line that I have, also were quite big and needed to get out. But some of them needed to wait a little bit longer, so I haven't popped all of them out. And I'm leaving a sort of path along the middle, so the end when I do have one in the middle, but the other rows I'm doing 4, so 2 on each side, and leaving a kind of walkway in the middle. Just because I'm going to have a fence, a small fence, albeit, but a little fence going around here. So I want to make sure I can get into the middle and really pick all the tomatoes quite easily. And also sort out, any weeds or anything. Then there'll be one more there, and then one more line here. I've also got this pot of chamomile I'm going to break up and put in each of the corners. So originally I'd planned to just put the 6 into the mud and only do 4, but that wasn't really working out, as you can see. So I ended up getting 2 more posts and postcreting them into the ground, using the postcrete here. And that turns out really well, and very much like the inspiration. So here's the before again, just to remind you. Obviously lots of weeds, not edged at all, no plants in it, and no posts and fence. And then here's the after, which I love. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.